The GOH is arriving. Please maintain silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guests have arrived. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, respected principal, vice principal, teachers, and my dear friends. I'm Malvika Nair.
And I'm Amol Paranjpe, and we welcome you all to this very special event.
We are honored to have amongst us a most esteemed guest whose name has become commonplace in every Indian household.
We all cheered when he became the first Indian to bag an individual gold medal at the Beijing Olympics back in 2008. Today, he is here to grace us all with his presence. And with him is a popular personality whose name we have seen several times etched in ink, a very well-known sports columnist and a veteran journalist.
So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give it up for Mr. Abhinav Bindra and Mr. Rohit Brijnath.
We all know Mr. Bindra's great success as an internationally acclaimed shooter. His career started at the tender age of 15, and from there, he never looked back.
In 2001, he rose to international fame when he won gold medals at 6 international meets. In the air rifle event in 2002 Commonwealth Games Manchester, he won gold in the pairs event. Mr. Bindra also won silver in the individual event.
But the crowning jewel in his career was the glorious win of 2008, with which he brought to an end a 28-year drought that the nation was undergoing when it came to the coveted Olympic gold. India has rewarded Mr. Bindra's efforts over the years with several accolades, including the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, the Padma Bhushan, and the Arjuna Award.
Delving into the long and laborious path to success and giving us an inside glimpse into the life of an Olympic champion, Mr. Abhinav Bindra, in collaboration with Mr. Rohit Brijnath, presents the world his biography, A Shot at History, a story of a champion's path to success. Described by famous Indian cricket commentator Harsha Bhogle as the best Indian sports writer by a long margin, Mr. Rohit Brijnath has graced the columns of several magazines and news websites, including BBC News, India Today, and Sports World. As of today, he resides in Singapore and makes his invaluable contribution to our national newspaper, the Straits Times. He has also worked closely with Mr. Abhinav Bindra in the development of the book, A Shot at History.
We now have an interactive session with Mr. Abhinav Bindra, and we request Mr. Brijnath to please take the mic. Mr. Brijnath, please.
Good morning, kids. It's a great privilege for us, Abhinav and me, to come to this school, which we've heard so much about, and we know how smart you kids are, so I'm expecting some very clever questions at the end of our discussion. I've known Abhinav for quite a few years, and as you know, we just did a book together. But I think what makes Abhinav unique, and I think you all must understand that, and I'm sure you do, is that India has been going to the Olympics and sending teams to the Olympics for over 100 years. That's a long time. That's even older than I am. But in that 100 years, we have never ever won an individual Olympic gold medal. We won gold medals in hockey, as you know, in the old days. So Abhinav became the first, and that is an extraordinary thing to do, because basically what you're doing in Olympics is you're beating the whole world. There are over 200 countries participating in the Olympics. They are the best athletes from Europe, from America, from Asia, from Africa. So on that particular day, every 4 years, only one man can be the best in his event, and he was, and that is an extraordinary thing. And I think that in India, we tend to follow a lot of cricket, but I think we should also not forget the extraordinary things that athletes like him who are not cricketers do, and remember that there are other people out there working hard and trying to do their best. So always remember that. Now, I'm going to quickly go to Abhinav. Abhinav has been to 3 Olympics, and he went to Sydney in 2000, he went to Athens in 2004, and then he went to Beijing in 2008. And so I'm going to ask him that what it feels like just to go to an Olympics. You know, you put on the TV during the Olympics, you see Usain Bolt, you see Michael Phelps. I think Lionel Messi's even played at Olympics. So this man is walking in the same cafeteria and having lunch next to Usain Bolt and maybe having a Coca-Cola next to Michael Phelps. And so let's ask him what it felt like to go to an Olympics and how every Olympics changes.
Well, I went to my first Olympic Games were in Sydney, and by far they've been my favorite Olympics. It was the first time that I went to a Games, and the Olympics I think is the most romanticized platform for sport, and it was just an incredible feeling to be a part of that 10,000 athletes club where, you know, every 4 years 10,000 of the world's best athletes get to the Olympics, and it was just an incredible feeling just to be a part of it. And just to be there with all these amazing athletes from all over the world, it was just incredible. I was just very, very happy to be there, and you know that was how I felt when I went to Sydney, and obviously it changed in my next Olympics. That was Athens, and when I went to Athens, I wasn't just happy to just be there. I wanted to do something, and I wanted to win a medal. And when I wanted to win a medal, then things changed. You know, I wasn't there just as a spectator, not just there to have a good time, not just there to just to be a spectator, but I actually wanted to win. So things then changed. I remember Sydney was the only Games that I attended an opening ceremony. It was incredible just to walk out into the stadium with 100,000 people and just to be a part of the national Olympic team. It was an incredible feeling. But in Athens and in Beijing, I never went to an opening ceremony because I learned that opening ceremonies got tiring, you know, and I compete normally 2 days after the opening ceremony. Then opening ceremonies generally take a very long time, although it's spectacular and it's a great feeling to be a part of it. But then because I wanted to win and because my goals changed. I wanted to give my performance the best possible shot, and I wanted to do everything possible in my hands, which was to be the best I could be. So things changed. In Athens, I was there. I wanted to win. Unfortunately, I could not win. I was close, but I couldn't win. It was extremely disappointing. But then I went to Beijing, and then when I went to Beijing, I changed again because I wanted success at any cost. I just had to win. When I went to Beijing, I had a mental attitude which I just did not have an opportunity to fail. I had to win. So things kept changing along the way, and but the bottom line is the Olympics is just an amazing place to be at. It's you know, I'm going to compete at my 4th Olympics in London, and I'm really looking forward to it. The most amazing atmosphere sport can offer.
Thanks, Abhinav.